Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the Get Healthy Makeover series. I'm Linda Curry, and today I want to talk to you about your environment. Two different topics, actually. One is really doing an environment cleanse, and includes decluttering and tidying up your space so that you feel good in your surroundings. It's very important for our health. And then, secondly, I want to talk to you about EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies that come from cell phones and Wi Fi and Bluetooth and things of that nature, and how that may be affecting our health and what steps we can take to try to minimize that. So, here we go. The first on environment cleansing. I want you to maybe take your notebook and come up with a goal for you, maybe a weekly goal for taking a little bit of time. It doesn't have to be much, where you start to transform your space. I like to tell people to start with areas that are causing you the most stress. So if it's a closet that you go in daily that you just feel frustrated about it and it just doesn't feel good when you open that door. Or maybe there's a junk drawer you open and you just can't find anything. It just you lose a lot of precious time just trying to look for the things that you need every day. So start with those areas. Doesn't have to take a lot of time, and you will be amazed at how good you feel when that gets cleaned out. And of course, you may want to have boxes for things to donate or things to toss, just so you're organized and this is very seamless that you can just jump into it every week. And maybe it takes you 10 minutes, maybe it takes you 30 minutes for the bigger jobs. Keep in mind that everything needs a place. Don't just move things around so that you have to deal with them later. And also get rid of items that don't have a purpose for you moving forward. So maybe it's a sentimental thing, but maybe it's time to let go of it or give it to somebody who could use it or appreciate it more than you have. And then finally, for your environment, feeling good in your environment, I want you to consider taking just 5 minutes every day when you're done working, for example, to just tidy up your office so that things don't get out of control. Or maybe it's in your kitchen after cleaning up the dishes, just taking a few extra minutes to just sweep the floor and tidy up a little bit more. Take care of that mail pile that might be piling up over the week. Just take care of it, an extra minute or two every single day. Okay, so try to create a goal for you. Is it a weekly goal? Maybe it's even a daily goal, and you want to get your home in proper order much quicker. I try to come up with a weekly goal for me on Fridays. I do some kind of a tidying up or a deep cleaning. And it just really has made me feel really good about my space and being here. So, next, I want to switch gears and talk about these electromagnetic frequencies, or EMFs, as they're referred to. You can find a lot of research on this and how it's affecting your health. I'm going to give you some high points. So, when I talk about EMFs, I'm talking about radiation from your Wi Fi router, your Bluetooth, any kind of Bluetooth you have set up, cell phones, even your utility smart meter. As things get smarter in your home, you might start feeling the effects of these EMFs more. So, what kind of things might you feel? There's these mystery symptoms from EMFs that experts are starting to think are associated, which might be insomnia. It could be fatigue or depression, even digestive issues, fogginess in your head, and headaches every day. I personally feel like I'm extra sensitive to EMFs. When I worked in the corporate world, I think the fluorescent lighting was actually causing me a lot of problems, as well as the numerous computers around me in a cubicle setting. And Wi-Fi, everybody seemed to be on Wi-Fi as well. And by mid-afternoon, I just felt like my energy was very chaotic. I had a headache. I didn't feel well. I just felt like I needed to lay down. And that's exactly what I did when I got home from work. I just plopped down on the bed to try to re-ground myself. Some of us are more sensitive than others, but I think it's important to make note of these sensitive people because we are kind of like the canary in the coal mine, that there are things happening and we're kind of showing you that they are affecting our health on some level. They can be even more impactful for growing brains. So I would really cut down on these types of things with infants, toddlers, and even children. So what can we do about this? One thing you can do is unplug your Wi-Fi router at night. If that's not something that you're comfortable with, you might want to ensure that your Wi-Fi router is nowhere near your bed. And in fact, 20 feet from the Wi-Fi router greatly cuts down on the amount of radiation. And so if your router is right next to you at your desk that you work at for 8 hours a day, that might be something to rethink. Moving it as far away from your body as possible is going to be beneficial. Turn off your smart devices when they're not in use. And in fact, when I have my cell phone, I always keep it at least 3 feet from my body. And I try not to carry it on my body as much as possible. And when I do, if I go for a walk or a hike and I feel like I want to have my phone with me, one of the things I do is I put it in airplane mode, and then I'll turn it back on if I need to make a call. Um, your cell phone is going to work harder and transmit more radiation, especially in areas where you don't have good cell service. So if you're in the mountains taking a hike, it's going to be working really hard. And in those situations, you definitely don't want that cell phone on your body unless it's on airplane mode. Okay, so I also want you to consider Bluetooth as well. You know, sometimes we have these smart meters on our wrist that might be taking your heart rate, tracking your steps. You have to kind of weigh the benefit versus risk of these things. And especially if you have arm pain on the arm that you're wearing these devices, please consider that it could be that device that is causing you some harm. Um, I had a friend that wore this consistently at night to track sleep and during the day to track steps and heart rate. And he actually ended up having debilitating pain in that arm. And it took probably a year for him to realize that this was the issue. And just a couple nights not wearing that device, he felt so much better. And then, of course, researching this online, it was evident that many people have these types of issues. When you're talking on the phone, try to use speaker mode or wired earbuds. And that will actually help keep that phone further from your brain. So you're not holding it up to your ear. And when carrying your phone, like I mentioned, use airplane mode as much as possible. So for this week, a couple different things. Come up with a goal for your environment cleansing and see how you feel. And then also, I want you to consider EMFs, these electromagnetic frequencies. And if your curiosity has been sparked, I want you to encourage you to research this further to see what other things, other measures you can take to cut down without, taking away a lot of the convenience of these smart technologies. And with that, I want to say thank you again for joining me for another week of the Get Healthy Makeover series, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care.